Hey guys, hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So in this particular video we are going to take 10 tricky NATs, that is numerical answer type questions from chemical kinetics. This particular video is again a GATE exclusive video and I have tried to take some questions from previous years of GATE exam which were asked from the numerical answer type approach and from the chemical kinetics. Okay, so we'll try to solve them up. We'll try to see that how you can approach these questions and what is the best way and how to apply this formula and solve those, right? So that's the main motive of this particular series, just to provide you problem solving skill for this. So I hope you guys will enjoy. Now before going into the video, before explaining you anything about it, let me tell you about my classes which are right now running on Unacademy Plus. So I've started teaching for CSIR net and GATE exam for the upcoming batch. So if you guys are interested to join those classes, you can join that by taking Unacademy Plus subscription using my referral code, that is N_Huda. All the other details, all the other queries can be answered if you mail me at the email ID provided in the description of this video. Now having said that, let's continue with our video. Alright, so let's start from this particular question which was asked in GATE 2020 exam. This question was asked from your Michaelis-Menten equation, basically from your Lineweaver-Burke plot. Okay, the question says that for an enzyme catalyzed reaction, the plot of inverse of initial rate, that means 1 upon V naught, against inverse of initial substrate concentration, that means 1 upon S, is linear with the slope given to you as this much and intercept given to you as this much. The estimated value of the Michaelis-Menten constant is. Now you have to round off to the 2 decimal places, so let's try to do this. Now you know that according to the Michaelis-Menten equation, your rate, initial rate V naught is equals to your Vm, that is maximum rate, into substrate concentration divided by you have Km plus S. Now if you just take the reciprocal of that, or if you know directly the Lineweaver-Burke plot, it's well and good. If you don't know, you can start from here. So 1 upon V naught will be equal to Km plus S, and in the denominator you will have Vm and S. Now separately divide it, so you'll get 1 upon V naught is equals to Km upon Vm into 1 upon S. Okay, that's how you can write down, and plus when you will separately divide this, so S and S will get cancelled out, the substrate concentration will get cancelled out, and you will get 1 upon Vm, where Vm is the maximum rate of the reaction. Now this is your intercept, this is your like slope. Why? Because this particular equation is like the equation is being plotted between this and this. So if you know the Lineweaver-Burke plot, in this, on the x-axis you have 1 upon substrate concentration, and on the y-axis you have 1 upon V naught. So what I can say now is my slope is equals to Km upon Vm, and my intercept is equals to 1 upon Vm. Now if I compare both of them, how I can write it down? So simply I can just write down that slope is equals to Km into 1 upon Vm, right? That's what I can write down. Or simply what I can do is I can erase this 1 upon Vm and I can write down intercept in the place of Vm. Okay, so Km into intercept. Okay, that's what I can write down. Or I can say that my Km is equals to slope divided by intercept, and that's what I have to do. Michaelis-Menten constant is Km, and that's what I have to calculate. Just put the values of slope and intercept. So the value of slope is a 0.16 second, and in the denominator you have 2.12, and here you have values in mole inverse, liter second, and here you have second. Second and second will get cancelled out. You just have to divide this, so the answer will come in moles per liter. So on dividing, on solving this, the value which you are going to get for your Michaelis-Menten constant will be 0.75. So this is going to be the answer, moles per liter. Okay, this is your final answer, and in the question the range which is given is from 0.7 to 0.8. So this is how this question has to be done. All right, simple and easy question based upon your enzyme catalysis. Let's go for the next one then. All right, looking upon this particular question, it is based upon the consecutive reactions. Now if you have not studied about these consecutive reactions, if you want to understand, if you want to study that, I'll just attach a link with this video. Just click on the I button and watch that video, okay, for the consecutive reaction. So a reaction where reactant is X is converted into product Y and Z consecutively with rate constant given to you as this and this respectively. If the initial amount of X is given to you as this much, the number of moles rounded off to one decimal place of Y formed after 10 minutes is. So basically it's like X is getting converted into Y and that is getting converted into Z. The rate constant is given to you as 6.0 into 10 to the power minus 2, and here it is 9.0 into 10 to the power minus 3. So these are the values given to you, right? Now based upon that you have certain more values like the initial concentration of X. So I'll just write it down as X naught, and that is 12.5 moles. Okay, and this is, let's say, K1 and this is K2. Okay, this is K1 and this is K2. The time which is given to me is basically time, that is T, and this is 10 minutes. Since everything is in minute, this is also in minute, time is also in minutes, so nothing I have to do. Okay, I don't have to change anything. So 10 minutes. Fine. So I just have to simply apply the formula to calculate the concentration of Y, and the formula goes like this. The concentration of Y, the final concentration of Y will be equal to K1 initial concentration of X divided by K2 minus K1, and in the bracket you have e to the power minus K1t minus e to the power minus K2t. So make this formula very clear that you know about this. Okay, so you should know about the formula, that what actually it is. Substitute the values here. K1 you know, K2 you know, X naught, that means initial concentration of X you know, T you know, just you have to put everything. Okay, so I am not going to solve this over here. You can just substitute the values. What you will get, just match down the calculation. Okay, so on solving, on putting all the values here and solving, you will basically get minus 14.70. Okay, and this particular side is going to be like 0.5488, this exponential part, minus, and this exponential part will be like 0.9139. okay, so now you just have to subtract that minus. This will be a negative value because we are subtracting bigger term from a smaller term, so negative negative will become positive, and at the end the final answer will come out around 5.36. okay, this is going to be the final answer. Now since in the question they have asked it to round it off, so the answer will be 5.4. okay, that is going to be your answer, and this is the amount of this much moles is the amount of Y which will be formed after 10 minutes. Now the answer which is given to you in the question paper, or the range of the answer which is given to you, is 5.4, sorry, 5.3 to 5.5. so our answer is lying in that range. So yes, this is correct. Let's go for the next one then. Alright guys, let's talk about this particular question. This was asked in GATE 2019 exam, and this question is from your parallel reaction or concurrent reaction. Now again, if you have not studied about concurrent or parallel reactions, if you don't know about the formula and all, so I'll attach a link of that. The link is there in the I button. You can just click over there and watch that video. I have explained everything regarding that, right? It says consider the following two parallel irreversible first order reactions. So P is the reactant which is getting converted into Q and R with rate constants K1 and K2 respectively. K1 is given to you as 5 into 10 to the power minus 2. K2 is given to you as 15 into 10 to the power minus 2 minute inverse. If the temperature T, at the temperature T, if the initial concentration of reactant P is 4 moles per liter, so the concentration of P is also given to you. Initial concentration of P, that is 4 moles per liter. Now they are asking that then the concentration of product R after 10 minutes. So the time is given to you as 10 minutes. Now again, the time is in minute, the rate constants are in minute. You don't have to convert anything here. Okay, you have to round it off up till 2 decimal places. It says assume only P is present at the beginning of the reaction. So how to do this? Basically all the values are given to you, just have to directly apply the formula. So if you know the formula, you can directly do that. The formula to calculate R is like, since R is getting formed with the rate constant K2, so it will be like K2 upon K1 plus K2, and then the concentration of the initial concentration of P, and then you have 1 minus e to the power minus K1 plus K2 into T. Okay, now remember that these exponential calculations now we have done in the previous question also. So all these exponential calculations we can use calculator to do. you are given with the scientific calculator, but provided that you know how to use calculator to solve these questions. Okay, so make sure that you have understood how to use scientific calculator for the GATE exam. There is a link for the scientific calculator in the description of this video. You can click over there and you can just go and you can just download the scientific calculator, the digital scientific calculator, and try to practice, okay, with that calculator, that how these calculations are done. Now let's put these values. So K2 is 15 into 10 to the power minus 2. K1 is like 5 into 10 to the power minus 2 plus 15 into 10 to the power minus 2. The initial concentration is like 4 moles per liter, so let it be. And then I have 1 minus e to the power minus K1 plus K2. So again you can just put the values. K1 and K2, since the 10 to the power is same, so 15 plus 5 will be 20. So I'll just write down 20 into 10 to the power minus 2, and into time is 10 minutes. Okay, so I have just kept all the things. Use your calculator to solve all these values, and after solving, basically what you are going to get is going to be something like this particular term, this particular whole term, when you multiply and solve, you are going to get 3, and here you will get 1 minus e to the power. Now minus 20 into 10 is 200. 200 into 10 to the power minus 2 will cancel out all the 0, so that will be minus 2. Okay, now just do your calculation. So 3 into 1 minus 0.1353. Okay, now I'll just do it on the other side. So this will become how much? 3 into 0.8647, and on multiplying you will get the final answer. So that will be 2.59 moles per liter. So this is going to be your final answer. All right, so so the final answer will be 2.59 moles per liter. Okay, so this is how it has to be done, and that's what your correct answer is. So that's how you have to do. You just need to know this formula. Unless and until you know the formula, you won't be able to approach the question. And in GATE exam, these special reactions like parallel reaction, your reversible reaction, consecutive reactions, so these are very very frequently asked. So you should be well aware about these types of question. All right, fine, let's go to the next one then. Alright, let's take this particular question. This was asked in GATE 2018 exam, and this was a 2-marker question, 2-marker numerical answer type question. It says that at the rate constant for the first order reaction, when x is getting converted into y, is given to you as 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 3 second inverse at 300 Kelvin. Given that the activation energy of the reaction is 28 kilojoules per mole, assuming Arrhenius behavior for the temperature dependence, the total time required to obtain 90% of y at 350 Kelvin is how much? Okay, now let's try to do this particular one. So first thing is, you are given with your rate constant, so that means you are given with the value of k, that is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 3 second inverse. The next thing which you are given with is your activation energy. The activation energy is 28 kilojoules per mole. Okay, yeah, so 28 kilojoules per mole, or you can say 28 into 10 to the power 3 joules per mole, right? The next thing which you are given with is two different temperatures. You are given with T1 is equals to 300 Kelvin, but T2 is equals to 350 Kelvin. Now you can use the logarithmic form of Arrhenius equation to find out the rate constant at this temperature. This is the thing which we have to do. We have to find out rate constant at this particular temperature. So how we will do that? First of all, let it be K1. We need to find out K2. Okay, so we have the value of K1, and what we need now is K2. K2 is what we don't know. So fine, let's try to substitute the values here. So the logarithmic form of your Arrhenius equation says that you have log K2 upon K1 is equals to EA upon 2.303 R, and in the bracket you have T2 minus T1 upon T1 T2. That's what the equation we have. Substitute all the values here. We know all the values, so let's put them all together. So we have log K2, K1 is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 3, EA is 28 into 10 to the power 3 divided by 2.303 R. R value is given to you 8.314, so 8.314 is what you have to put. T2 is 350 minus 300 divided by 350 into 300. Okay, that's what you have to do. Now everything depends upon how easily you are going to calculate it. Okay, so use your calculator to solve it further, and here you are going to get log k2 plus 2 point, I'll just tell you that what you will get. Okay, just match these calculation. So 2.795, and on the other side if you calculate this, you will get 0.696. so basically your log k2 is equals to, if you subtract this, you will get minus 2.098. that means that k2 is equals to 10 to the power minus 2.098, or nt log of that. So you can use the calculator now to find this value out. So you are going to get k2 is equals to 7.97. Okay, 7.97 into 10 to the power minus 3 second inverse. Okay, this is what you will get. After getting this, what you have to find out is the time required for obtaining 90% of y. So let's try it. So if x is getting converted into y, and if let's say your initially you have taken 100% of x, that was getting converted into y. Now you don't know how much y it is. So let's say the time is 0. At some time t, let's say y is formed 90%. Okay, so 90% of y is formed. So how much x will be left out? So x will be just 10 amount. Okay, so the amount of x left out will be 10, and yeah, this is what you use here. Okay, you use the initial concentration and final concentration of x only. So that's how we are going to do. So basically the next part of the calculation is going to be based upon the time required. So time will be calculated as t is equals to 2.303 upon k, and you have log initial concentration upon final concentration, so a upon a naught. Okay, and when you substitute all these values, sorry, a naught upon a it should be, right? So it is log a naught upon a. Substitute the values here, so your t will be equal to 2.303 upon k is your k2, because you are finding out everything at this particular with respect to this particular rate constant. So 7.97 into 10 to the power minus 3, and then you have log initial concentration is 100 and final concentration is 10. So just solve this and you are going to get your answer. Okay, so the time will come out as 288.63 seconds. Okay, this is going to be your final time. So time will come out around 288.63 second. Okay, so this is how this question has to be done. Pretty simple and pretty straightforward question. All right, let's go for the next one then. All right guys, let's talk about this question here. This was asked in GATE 2018 exam. The question is upon your nuclear chemistry, and nuclear chemistry questions, I'll not make a separate video for that. So I just thought that the numerical portion of nuclear chemistry, let's include this over here, because obviously you are going to use the expressions of your rate constant or to find out the rate of the reaction in this, right? So the expressions are quite similar, just same as your first order reactions. So that's how we are going to use this. So fun thing which you have to make note of is all the nuclear reactions. Okay, nuclear reactions, okay, they follow first order kinetics. Okay, so they follow first order kinetics. This should be very much clear to you. So once you know this, you can do now questions here. Okay, so it says that the radioactive isotope of iodine, the time required for 50% disintegration is 8 days. The time required for 99.9% disintegration of 5.5 grams of iodine is, right? So let's try to do this. First of all, you know that 50% disintegration means they are talking about T half lifetime, and that is given to you as 8 days. So with that, if you want to calculate your in the nuclear chemistry, instead of rate constant, we call it as decay constant. We denote it by lambda. So it's nothing but same as the rate constant. So T half is equals to 0.693 upon K. That's what we have for first order reaction. For nuclear chemistry, we represent it by lambda. So 0.693 upon lambda. So lambda will be 0.693 upon T half. And if you substitute that value of T half, so 0.693 upon 8, and this is going to give you a value of equal to 0.693 0.0866. Okay, this is the value of your rate constant which you have got. Now once you have got your decay constant or rate constant of the reaction, the next part is pretty simple to approach. First of all, you have to find out that, let's say you are doing 99.9% disintegration, right? So there are many ways how you can approach it. The first way is, let's take the initial concentration as 5.5 gram and the final concentration as 99.9% of 5.5 grams. So you can do that, or whenever the things are given in percent, you don't have to do anything. Okay, you just have to you just have to see, you just have to put the value, that's all. Okay, so how you will do this? Now let's try to do the next part of it. So the time required will be equal to 2.303 upon lambda, and then you have log initial number upon the final number. Okay, initial concentration upon final we have here. I'm just substituting initial number of atoms or initial amount of atom divided by the final amount of atom. So let's take that the initial amount is 100%. So the time required for 99.9% disintegration, so how much will be left out? Obviously 0.1% will be left out, right? So that is going to be your final value. So just put it here. So T will be equal to 2.303 divided by, it will be like 0.0866, and then you have log initial is 100, final is 0.1. How it came, just understand here. I'll just show you quickly that if X is disintegrating something to Y, let's say initially it is 100%. Okay, so yeah, so the time required for 99.9% disintegration. Okay, so that means 99.9% is disintegrated. So how much is left out? So obviously 0.1% is left out and 99.9% is converted into product side. Okay, so this is the time which we are actually going to calculate. So that's what it is kept here. Now you just have to use this. So T is equals to 2.303 upon 0.0866 multiplied by, here you will get log 1000 and log 1000 will be 3. Just solve this and you will get the value. So after solving this particular equation, you are going to get something around 80.33. So that is going to be, that's the number of days which should be the answer for this. Okay, so up to one decimal place they have asked, so 80.3 should be the answer. So 80.3 days is going to be the final answer for this particular question. So this is how this question has to be done. Pretty simple way to approach it. And the other way, alternative way, is to just take this as like initial concentration as 5.5 gram, initial number of atom, and final you can take as 0.1% of that 5.5, and then just put those values here. So that is also going to give you the similar values. Okay, you will get answer around this only. So this is how this question has to be done. All right, let's go for the next one then. All right guys, let's try to do this question. This was asked in GATE 2017 exam. Okay, so this is a particular question from GATE 2017 exam. Now the question says that the following consecutive first order reaction is given to you. This is again from the consecutive reaction. In the time in second required for Y to reach its maximum concentration, assuming as only X is present at time T is. Okay, so for this we have a direct equation. Okay, so the time for the maximum concentration of X, that is T max, will be equal to, the equation for this you can use as 1 upon K1 minus K2, and then you have ln and K1 upon K2. Okay, so this is what the equation you have. You just have to substitute the values and then you are good to go. You will get the answer. So K1 is 2.0 minus 0.1, and then you have ln and you will have 2.0 divided by you have 0.1. Okay, just solve this, and here you will get 1 upon 1.9, and here if you solve this up you are going to get 2.99. okay, so on solving this you will get the value of T max is equals to 1.576 seconds. Okay, so this is going to be the final answer. So the value which you will get for your T max is going to be 1.576 seconds. Okay, so this is how this question has to be done. Let's go for the next one then. All right, this question is again from GATE 2017 exam. Okay, the question is pretty simple and straightforward. It says dependence of the rate constant T on the temperature T of a reaction is given by the expression. The expression is given to you. The activation energy is being asked. Again, this question is from Arrhenius equation. So you know that in the Arrhenius equation we have K is equals to A e to the power minus EA upon RT. If you take ln both side, so it will become ln K is equals to ln A and minus EA upon RT. The given equation is like ln K is equals to 10 minus 5000 K upon T. Okay, so now you can compare both these equations. This K is actually the unit given to you, just to make sure, just to make you understand that okay, this is also in Kelvin, this is also in Kelvin, so that's why they can be divided. Okay, so just to satisfy the you can say it, just to satisfy the dimensional part of the equation. Okay, that's why it is written K. K is no constant here. Okay, so don't get confused with that K. So you can just remove that K also, that is not going to harm in any way. So now you can just relate these equation. Okay, so the equation can be related as your, yeah, T is here, so you can relate both of them. So what you can get from the relation, that you will get that EA or the activation energy upon R, this is actually equal to 5000, right? Just by like, sorry, just by relating these two, right, this thing and this thing. So you got EA upon R is equals to 5000, or you can say that EA is equals to 5000 into R. Substitute the value of R, so 5000 into 8.314, multiply this value and you will get your value of activation energy. So your activation energy will come out 41570 joule, or in your kilojoules, because it is asked in, it's going to come in joules per mole. Okay, so in kilojoules per mole the value will be 41 point, because you can just like put the decimal up by the 3 digits, so it will become 41.57 kilojoules per mole. So that is going to be the final answer for this particular question. This is how this question has to be done. Simple and straight question, just a 1 marker question. Let's go for the next one then. Right, let's talk about this question here. It says that the rate constant of reaction is 1.25 into 10 to the power minus 4 moles per liter per second. If the initial concentration of the reactant is this much, the total time required for complete conversion is. Now this again is from the complete conversion. You have to understand that which order reaction it is. Okay, so which order reaction it is, so that will be given to you from the unit of this K. Okay, from the unit of rate constant. Now they have not clearly mentioned that which order reaction it is, but from the unit of the rate constant we can simply understand. So this is basically a zero order reaction. Zero order reaction. So for zero order reaction, you know that the initial concentration is given to you as 0.250 moles per liter, and you have your rate constant as 1.25 into 10 to the power minus 4, you have moles per liter per second. Now if you calculate the value for when this is complete conversion, means final concentration becomes 0, final concentration of reactant becomes 0. Understand this, that if reactant is getting converted into some product P, let's say, initially if it is let's say anything like 0.250, this was the initial concentration, product was 0. So after some time T, when this is completely converted, so product will be 0.250 formed, how much reactant will be left out? So 0. So that's what is the final concentration of reactant. That's what I'm going to use here. Okay, so this is what I have just told you, just to make you guys understand. Fine, just put it in the equation of your zeroth order reaction. So you have A naught minus A and is equals to KT. So you are actually calculating your T. So T will be equal to A naught is, you can just write it down like A naught minus A upon K. Just put the values. So initial is your 0.250, final is 0, divided by K is 1.25 into 10 to the power minus 4. Solve this and you will get your answer. So the time will be 2 into 10 to the power 3 seconds. Okay, or you can say that 2000 second is going to be the answer of this question, right? So this is how this question has to be done. 1 marker question. It was a little tricky just to understand the rate of the reaction through the rate constant. So you should be very careful with the rate constant. What are the units of the rate constant? You should be aware about how to find that and how to understand that to solve the question. All right, let's go for the next one. All right, let's talk about this question here. It says, it was first of all asked in GATE 2016 exam, and it says that if a reaction where A and B are reacting to give you certain intermediate when through equilibrium reaction, so K1 and K minus 1 are given, and that intermediate is getting converted into product with some rate constant K2. If the steady state approximation can be applied on the intermediate, the observed rate constant of the product formation in liter per moles per second is. Let's try to do this. So basically you can write down that your product formation, rate of product formation dp by dt will be equal to K2 and into initial concentration, like intermediate concentration. Now we can apply steady state approximation to find out the value of I. So let's try that, or there are other ways also. You can use equilibrium constant also to find out the value of I. So let's try to do with the equilibrium constant. That is much simpler, right? So you know that Keq, because the equilibrium is being maintained here, that is going to be equal to the concentration of the product, that means I, and divided by the concentration of reactant, that means A and B. Now you know equilibrium is going to be maintained by K1 upon K minus 1. So I can write down it as K1 upon K minus 1 is equals to I, and divided by you have A and B. So what should be my value of, or the concentration of I? This should be equal to K1 upon K minus 1 into A into B, right? Simple it is. I just have multiplied on this side. Let it be equation number 1. So what I can do now, I can just substitute this over here. So what I can now write it down, that my dp by dt means the rate of formation of product is going to be, like, I just have to put these values of I here. K2 is already here, so I have K2 K1 upon K minus 1, and then I have A and B, right? This is what I have got as my final rate equation. Now you can see that this particular factor is representing the rate constant over here, and that's what is asked, that the observed rate constant of the product formation. So this is the product formation step, and this is the observed rate constant. So this is the value which we have to calculate. So according to the question, what we have to calculate, the rate constant. So let's just find out this. You just need to find out this, whatever I have circled in. Okay, so this can be calculated as this. K2 is 10, K1 is 10 to the power 5, right? And let's write down the units also. Okay, so let's write down the units, that will be fun. So K2 is like your second inverse multiplied by 10 to the power 5, and we have liter per mole per second, and divided by you have K minus 1, that is 10 to the power 4 second inverse. So cancel out the things which can be cancelled out. So this and this are getting cancelled out. You just got liters per mole per second, right? 10 to the power 4 is going to cancel out 4 of the 10s from here. Only 10 will be left out, and that means the overall value will be 10 into 10. That means 100 liter per mole per second. The final answer gives you in the same unit in which it is being asked. So you can see that how beautifully we have just got the answer in the same unit as per being asked. Okay, so this is how it has to be done. Simple and straightforward calculation. You just have to be a little bit careful on applying the steady state. Okay, fine, we have not applied a steady state approximation here. We have just used equilibrium equation to solve this. What I want you guys to do is just try this same calculation using steady state approximation, and just see that whether you are getting the same value of I or not. Okay, and whether you are getting the same value of the rate constant or not. Okay, so use steady state approximation over here on I and try this question. Okay, fine, let's go for the next one then. All right, let's take this last question probably for this video. The question says that the reaction in which A is getting converted into B in the equilibrium form is first order in both the directions. Okay, in the forward and backward, both sides it is first order. Forward and reverse rate constant are given to you as this and this. So Kf is 4.2 into 10 to the power minus 4 second inverse, and Kb is 1.04 into 10 to the power minus 3 second inverse. The relaxation time of the reaction is being asked. So they are asking the relaxation time denoted by tau. So this tau is being asked. Okay, tau is called a relaxation time. So let's try this. Okay, let's try to solve this. Basically, the for an equilibrium reaction, when A is getting converted into B with some equilibrium, okay, with the equilibrium reaction, okay, so let's say A is getting converted into B with some rate constant Kf and Kb, then in that case your tau or your relaxation time is calculated as 1 upon under root Kf plus Kb. Okay, this is the simple and straightforward formula which you should know. So note it down if you have not read about it, or if you have not noted it down yet. So now simply tau for this will be equal to 1 upon under root Kf is 4.2 into 10 to the power minus 4 plus 1.04 into 10 to the power minus 3. Substitute all these values like we have already done. Just solve these values. Okay, so on solving this, your tau is going to be equal to 10 to the power, like basically I have just directly calculated all of these. So you are going to get 0.66 into 10 to the power minus 3. Okay, now what we have done is we have done this through calculator. Okay, we have used the calculator to solve this. We have added this, the 10 to the power won't be get added like that, so just multiply 4.2 into 10 to the power minus 4 first of all, get the value, add that with 1.04 into 10 to the power minus 3, then take under root of that value. So you will get something like this. Now once you have got this, you can just write it down like tau is equals to 0. Sorry, you are going to get the answer as 6.6. okay, so 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 4 seconds. Okay, so this is going to be your relaxation time. Now in the question there is a misprint. It has to be that the relaxation time for the reaction in second temperature jump experiment is, and it should have mentioned that into 10 to the power minus 4 seconds. Okay, so this has to be mentioned, which is misprint over here, which is not written. So the value which you just have to put as the answer is 6.6. Alright, so this is how this question has to be done. Just note it down, this formula, if you have not written it down somewhere. Well, these were some of the questions which are from your chemical kinetics, and I just thought to make the video so that you just get a compilation of all these questions at one place. So that's all from my side, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that whatever we have discussed, whatever we have studied in this particular class was helpful to you, and you guys got whatever I wanted to explain you, right? So thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, give it a like. If you have not subscribed the channel, do subscribe to it. Share it with your friends, and we are also available on Facebook and Instagram with the same name, that is All About Chemistry. The Facebook and Instagram, both at both the places, the handle is @chemoholic. So you can search us over there. You can follow our page over there as well, so that we can just get connected through different social media platform as well. So that's all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, have a great day. Bye bye.